Good morning guys, and thank you for joining me for another What I Eat in a Day as a vegan on Slimming World. If you're new, my name's Leanne, nice to meet you, and if you're coming back, as always, thank you ever so much for doing so. Today is Thursday. I have no plans apart from work today and chores, quite frankly. I think I should have enough supplies in the house that I don't need to venture out to any shops or anything. So yeah, should be just a nice quiet day at home in my Oodie in July. God, I love this thing. It's breakfast o'clock and guess what I've made? It's a bacon and mushroom pitta that I've presented really appetizingly, that I definitely haven't burnt the other side of the pitta and set the smoke alarm off, and then broke the pitta trying to get the stuff in, so then just dumped it all on the plate and tried to scrape it in, meaning that it looks highly attractive. No, I would never do that. So wholemeal pitta, healthy extra B, mushrooms for speed, and 4 rashers of Richmond vegan streaky bacon for 3 syns. Also, I've had 1 coffee with 100 ml of Alpro almond breast of 1 syn. Right guys, it's lunchtime. I'm hungry, I think because I'm pretty cold and I'm also tired, honestly. So I'm in a real, do you know, oh sorry. I'm sure that you guys get this too. But I just want comfort food, do you know what I mean? I just want something that's crispy, not necessarily fatty, but certainly you know, a good texture. I use the word meaty texture, but I don't mean obviously meat, you know what I mean? I mean a toothsome, chewy but not overly chewy, maybe something crispy, so the only thing I can think of that's going to fulfill what I want that's on plan is I bought some new potatoes last night when I was in Sainsbury's. They were reduced, and not that that makes any difference. But I thought I could do them in the air fryer maybe with some, and have cheese with it. But then what can I have for the actual vegetables? Because that I can't have that as a meal. That's really unhealthy. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And the trouble is I would have salad with it, but I'm just not in the mood for salad, if I'm totally honest with you. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna have. Okay guys, here we go. The solution was to cook my little new potatoes in the air fryer and then add cheese on top at the end for a few minutes, which obviously has gone everywhere, even though I tried really, really hard not to. So the air fryer is currently soaking. And then I've got loads and loads and loads of tomatoes with it as well. So yeah, not the most exciting lunch, but actually it kind of is, because it's just what I really fancy. And I just ate 3 tomatoes while I was waiting, and they're really tasty. I've also got some cherries that I bought yesterday that I may have afterwards, or I may have some later. And I should probably say that I used 60 grams of my vegan cheese for both my healthy extra A choices. I wasn't really planning on using that much, but you know, after most of it fell through, I had to, you know, add some more. So it probably isn't actually 60 grams on here, but either way, you know, better safe than sorry. Okay, I thought I left my phone in the other room, but apparently I didn't, and dinner's nearly ready. So just for speed, because I've got to be quick and go check on it, but everything's going and it's really noisy, I'm having essentially the same as last night. So that pappardelle pasta, a pot of pesto, pappardelle pasta, pot of pesto. Say that fast 5 times and you win respect. So the pot of pesto is 7.5 syns, and then I've done 2 courgettes, a pepper, and I'm going to have some lamb's lettuce as well. And what the cluck chicken, and I'm going to syn some cheese to have with it, because quite frankly guys, I'm just craving all the not so nutritionally dense foods. So yeah, I'm just going to use all my syns on cheese, I guess. Lost my phone again. Right, it's ready now. I mean, I'm nothing if not brilliant at presentation, right? So there's significantly more veg than last night. I'm not quite sure how I've managed that, but I have. I left too much pasta water in, so I've watered the pesto down loads, so that's going to be disappointing. There's only 50 grams of cheese in here because I'm having to syn it, so that is 9 syns for 50 grams of vegan cheese. With the 7.5 pesto, that makes obviously 16.5, and I was on 5 already, so that puts me on 21.5. Yes, I worked it out before I did this. And then around the edges, you can see that I've got loads of lamb's lettuce that I've sort of just had to cram in, and that's literally like 2/3 of a bag, but you know, lamb's lettuce is delicious. So yeah, I don't know what's with me today. I'm just really hungry. I guess it's just one of those days, and that's absolutely fine. But yeah, I don't actually know if I'm gonna be able to eat all that, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh my god, guys, I'm so full. I literally ate half. I can't believe I obviously just made tons. It's literally a whole other meal. So what I'm gonna do is half the syns. I'll have the other half for lunch tomorrow, and I'll syn it rather than calling it healthy extra A's. But then on the other hand, oh god, how am I going to work it out? So if I had half the cheese, that's 4.5 syns for today. Half the pesto pot, 7.5. We'll call it 4. So that's 8.5 that I've had today because I've already used my healthy extra A's. But then tomorrow, that will count as 1 healthy extra A because it'll be 25 grams. So that works out. So it'll just be 4 syns for the pesto tomorrow. Got it. Hi gang, it's the end of the day. And I forgot to talk about something that I wanted to today that I was in my group last night. It was quite interesting. So when the consultant was talking to me, like, I didn't really talk very much, but she went, oh, we don't use the words good and bad. And I was like, I don't think I did, because I do try and avoid saying good and bad in relation to food. And she was like, no, you said bad. And I was like, did I? And thinking back on it, I think what I said was something like not too bad. But anyway, so she made a really good point. It led to quite an interesting discussion about how I think it's like quite well known that you're sort of not supposed to sort of say good and bad in relation to food, because that implies there's good foods and bad foods rather than just, you know, more calorific foods or, you know, whatever. So I thought that was fine, no new information there. But what she also said, which I thought was quite interesting, was about the terms on plan and off plan, which you hear all the time on Slimming World, all the time. And I thought that was very interesting because I do say that. And what we should be saying, because again, that implies, that gives it that like diet status in your head rather than just a way of sort of taking control over what you're eating. And what you should be saying, again, this is only for people on Slimming World, but what we should be saying is that we didn't food optimize very well that day, or we didn't food optimize as well as we could have. And food optimizing, which obviously is the like official name of the plan really, is about trying to make sure that we're filling up on speed veg, essentially speed and free foods, and then adding in syns as like the extras kind of thing, because the synned foods are where the higher sugar and fat and therefore higher calorie items are. And there was a really good point, because I thought actually if you sort of go through it in your mind, like when you're making a meal, I'm saying the general you, I don't mean you, I mean me really, but you know, like when you're making a meal, if you're like, am I like food optimizing this meal? And then it's like, no, not really. For example, my lunch today, like technically was totally food optimized, but it wasn't really. Oh no, or was it? Because part of the plan, part of food optimizing is that you should have a third of a plate of speed foods where it makes sense, right? So obviously I had like literally a packet and a half of tomatoes at lunchtime, so I had loads, and yes, it did make up probably a third of the bowl that I had at lunchtime. The rest was those crispy little potatoes and the bit of cheese I had on it. So technically, yes, I was food optimizing. I could have optimized a bit better by having less potatoes, adding some protein, etc., but you know, whatever. I still sort of stayed within the remit. And then dinner was decently food optimized, over a third of veg on, you know, in my bowl. Obviously I only ate half as well, which is fine because it was a massive portion. And it means that I've got lunch made for tomorrow. But anyway, I just thought it was really interesting terminology because, you know, it's quite common, and we know to say to not use the words good and bad, or I was really good on this day, or oh god, I've been really bad this week, or things like that. You know, that isn't going to help us. It's not helpful language. But the on and off plan stuff was very, very good to think about. So I'm going to try and catch myself if I'm saying that as well, and I'm going to try and make myself think, am I food optimizing well? Is this food optimizing? I just thought it was quite interesting because sometimes if we think about the language we're using, like it's all very well saying it and you can say it and not have it mean anything, but if you actually think about it, then it does have an effect. It's just obviously if you're not in the like mindset for it, you know, like if you're determined to have like a binge on, I don't know, loads of vegan ice cream or something, then obviously you're saying, well, am I food optimizing this vegan ice cream? Obviously you're not. But like if you just say to yourself first, like, I don't know, I'm not saying it very eloquently, I'm afraid, I'm sorry. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting. So my dinner was hours ago now, and honestly I was still full. I had a cup of herbal tea, just my normal pucker nighttime tea, which I have discovered my Sainsbury's sells, but I do get it on Amazon. You know, I buy it in bulk just because it's cheaper, and then I get the subscribe and save discount, so it does make it significantly cheaper than in the shops, because pucker is expensive. Yeah, but you know, I don't drink alcohol, so like my expensive coffee and tea is kind of like it's okay. So yeah, so I had my cup of tea earlier. I had a dash, well actually I've had 2 dash waters today, both mango. Oh god, I just gurgled, sorry if that came across. I saw dash, I gurgled. It's a reflex because of the bubbles. But yeah, mango is definitely my favourite flavour. It's just so nice. And then I was sort of like thinking I might have a yogurt this evening because I've got some yogurts in the fridge I bought the other day. Or anyway, but then I was like, I just remembered I had this Nomo bar, so I just ate it. I did check syns first, don't worry. So I'm only just within my syns, but actually it's kind of the syns that I made up, in fact, I was just thinking for dinner, because yeah, so this is 9.5 syns on the Slimming World app. Just hit myself in the face with it. And my dinner was 8.5 for the portion I did have. So the portion I've put back in the fridge would have been 8.5. So actually I just had 1 syn more by having this. Well, I'm not saying to replace real food with chocolate, by the way. That's not what my point was. It was just pure coincidence. So yeah, so I'd sort of originally planned with my dinner to have 22 syns. I've ended up on 23, but actually I had my dinner plus a treat. So yeah, let's just have a quick look at my food diary for the day. Okay, so, sorry, excuse the mess. I've had a really funny, I'll tell you in a second. Right, let's just look at this first. So here is today's. I have used some leafy stickers today because of the green theme, and also these cute little flags on the top. So yeah, my aim loosely every day is to have 5 different types of speed vegetables. Oh my God, I didn't write down my cherries that I had at lunchtime. I just remembered. Silly girl. This is what happens when you don't write stuff down as you have it. Not that it matters really for free food or speed food, but you know, it is nice to have a record. So yeah, so my loose aim every day is to have 5 different types of speed vegetables. I mean, overall, ideally, I like to be close to 10 as possible, but not speed, like just all fruit and vegetables. Some days I get near it, some days I get nowhere near. But I mean, I always have good portions of them. You guys know me, I'm fairly greedy. But yeah, so I've had a good 5 portions of speed today, and then also cherries. So yeah, I ate that whole thing of cherries earlier, and you know what? Every single cherry in there was a disappointment. Absolutely everyone. I was so annoyed because those cherries I had earlier this year, like a month and a half, in that big box, they were incredible. These were like tiny bites of disappointment, every single one. So yeah, but I ate them all because, you know, they're still cherries, but they were disappointing cherries. Anywho, let's get on to the fun stuff. So syns wise, as I said, on 23, and that comes from my usual breakfast and coffee, so that's 5 between those. And then, like I said, the pesto pot is 7.5 syns for the little individual vegan pesto pots. So I'm calling it 4, you know, because it's good to round up. And then 25 grams of vegan cheese, because I actually put 50 in, but again, I've literally saved half for that meal, so I'll call it 4.5. And then, of course, my no-mo bar for 9.5. So slightly higher syn day. I do feel like I've eaten a lot today, if I'm honest. I feel like I've had a lot of carbs and a lot of fat. However, I have stayed within the remit of food optimizing. The no-mo bar, yeah, absolutely could have made a better choice there. Could have made better choices at lunchtime, but I did eat a lot of tomatoes. That was so nice. Oh, and you'll be pleased to know that the cheese came off my air fryer just fine. I only left it soaking while I was eating my lunch, and then I went and washed it up straight after, and it was fine. Soaking it was the right thing to do. But yeah, anyway, so there we go. That is today's page. That's page for people who don't speak Liam. And got tomorrow already set up with some random stickers. Yeah. I forgot to tell you guys, I had such a funny evening because so I play an online game. It's really silly. It's SimCity, but which, you know, I used to have it on the PC as a teenager. I used to love that game. But they do SimCity Build It on mobile. Anyway, so I've played it for a few years, and I've got a club in there and stuff, and so I've got some people that are in lots of different countries that I've been friends with for a few years online. And hilariously, one of them this evening started a voice chat in our group chat, but like didn't mean to, but then someone else thought that it was, because it was pure coincidental timing, because I was like, right, let's all hop in this chat and have a quick discussion about such and such. And so this other person thought that the one who started the call to the whole group meant to do it because it was like this mandatory meeting, which it wasn't at all. It was so funny. So anyway, I ended up on the phone to 2 different countries this evening, which was great fun. And a bit random, but yeah, it was very fun. We had lots of laughter and admiration of each other's accents, which was fun. So yeah, that was a bit random. I didn't expect to be having a multi-way international call, but I did. So praise to Discord for that. But yeah, that was entertaining. Anyway, I guess that wasn't as big a story as I thought it was, but it took up a good portion of my evening with all the chat we had about it afterwards as well. and all the people who didn't join it who are going, ah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go now. It is bedtime. I'm in a funny mood. I've managed to book next week off work just to I don't know. I just feel like I need some space to kind of just chill, if that makes sense. I don't know, so whatever, I've booked next week off work, so I'm really looking forward to that. So it means that tomorrow is like my last day before I haven't got work for 9 days, which is really nice. It's going to be very weird, but I mean, I'll still talk to them on Teams and stuff, but even so, it's very rare that I take like a whole week off at once, but I just really have been thinking that I want to, you know, so I did it. Yeah, so tomorrow's like the last working day before that, but also my landlord is coming around in the afternoon. So people don't understand, like when I say I'm working from home, it's like I am at work, but some people just seem to think that it just means I'm available for them to come to my house, and it's like, I'm not. I'm working. It's still a working day. I'm working from home doesn't mean I'm choosing like when I work. I just find it so odd. Like, he never understands, and like the letting agents like don't seem to understand. So they're like, oh, can you do 2 o'clock? And I'm like, well, if I have to, but I'll have to delay my lunch break and all the rest of it. Like, really, he should be doing it out of working hours, but he never ever does. And then he wants to talk for ages, and it's nothing that couldn't be said through the estate agents as well. It's always just that he's like really old fashioned and just wants to talk in person, and I'm the opposite. I'm just like, leave me a note somewhere, I don't care. I don't really want to have a conversation with you. But anyway, whatever. I'm being very unfair because, you know, he's perfectly nice. But yeah, I just want to be left alone. I just really want to be left alone. Oh well. Anyway, okay, that's enough rambling for the night. So, I added some sparkles to my hourglass because that page, like, I really like it, but it was looking a bit empty. So I feel like it's more finished with sparkles on it. So on the dark blue. Someone said black in the comments. It's actually a very dark blue, this page that I chose. Obviously I stuck it over because this is a white page journal, but can you see? Look how warped that paper is. That is the only problem with this dark blue paper. I've got some other different coloured dotted paper as well, but like it's thin. It's not like the actual bullet journal paper. So yeah, it warped because I used too much watery paint on it. But yeah, you can just about see that sheen from the watercolour I put over, and the shimmer pen that I used on top of that. I just went all out for no reason at all. Oh well. Anyway, I like the sparkles. I think that completes it, so I'm pleased with that. It took me all of 3 minutes. And also, final thought is my sister's birthday at the end of the month. I've got her presents, that's fine, but I'm going to make her a card, but I'm going to try and do a quilling card. That'll be fun, won't it? So yeah, haven't done that since I was a kid. I definitely had a quilling kit when I was a kid, but it wasn't something I regularly did. It was just, you know, one of those kits that you make something and that's kind of it. But yeah, I've got a quilling tool, I've got the quilling papers and stuff. I've got my blank cards. I did bring them in this evening, but I haven't done anything with them because the evening got carried away. But yeah, so I've got my blank cards. But yeah, what do I make out of quilling for her? I wanted to make a pretty card. So me and Mum always kind of foist flamingos onto her. We always get her flamingo stuff. I don't know why. I don't think she's ever particularly expressed an interest in flamingos, but we've kind of decided that that's her thing. So I could do a flamingo one, or I could do Dashin, you know, the dogs, the sausage dogs. But like, because like that's her favourite, like she would really like a miniature one. I'm not sure that she'll ever actually end up getting one. So like we've got her loads of stuff with like Dachshunds on, but like now I almost feel it's a bit like, oh, here's like the dog that you really like that you're not actually getting. I don't know. So yeah, I always feel a little tiny bit funny about those ones. I don't know. So I might do that, or I could do something with a stylized glass of wine because she loves wine. She doesn't really have any like hobbies or like interests, I don't think. Like she reads a lot, and occasionally she'll do like painting. Like she's like the artist in the family, although I think I do a lot more creative stuff than her. Like I don't think she does it like very regularly, but yeah, so I don't know, it's hard to know what to do for her. It's a bit like a dad, you know, like just no like obvious theme. Whereas my mum and me, we're both easy, like there's tons of stuff that we like. But yeah, anyway, so give me ideas for a birthday card. What do you think I should put on a birthday card for her, or have you got any brilliant ideas? I suppose I could do like some little quilling balloons, but then it's just a bit generic, isn't it? I don't know, can't really make a pub out of quilling, doesn't really work. Yeah, I don't know, it's a tough one. Maybe some books and a glass of wine. Oh god, that sounds very complicated. The nice thing about quilling is that you want kind of big simple shapes, because then the curled up paper looks cool, and like that's what adds the detail, you know. Interesting. Okay, so what have I got? How long have I got to do that? 2 weeks. I've literally got 2 weeks until I'm seeing her for her birthday, so help. Anyway, okay, right, I'll definitely stop rambling now, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So happy Friday in advance, because you're going to be watching this on Friday, and thank you for watching. Toodaloo. Oh, hey, this was really fun. I hope you liked it too. What's the rest of the words? Seems like we've just begun, when suddenly we're through. Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye. For now, I'm not going to keep singing. Okay, bye.